So we're here with Zach. I'm sorry, I forgot your last name.
Zach Constantine.
Zach Constantine. And you are with the Democratic Party?
Yes, I'm the chair of the Orange County Democratic Party.
Nice.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about like what the challenges are this year and how things are going and how you guys plan on winning and you know, we got a little bit of the speech earlier that I think we're going to include, but tell us a little bit about what you guys plans this year.
Yeah, I think right now the Democratic Party is under a lot of scrutiny. You know,
Yes.
we've lost some important national elections, but I think that in an off-cycle election, I consider it to be an on-cycle election. We have local elections in 2025 in every single one of our 24 municipalities. Those are towns and cities. We have 19 county legislative candidates. We have several county-wide offices and judgeships that are up for election. And in a cycle like this one, it is our party's opportunity to sort of set the pace at the local level. And, you know, we're a member-driven organization, so people who, you know, are frustrated with the Democratic Party can actually impact the party very much at the local level. So in Orange County, we are putting our best foot forward by running extremely progressive, ambitious, working-class candidates for local offices, whether it's the county legislature or town supervisor positions or town council positions. And we think that is really where the Democratic Party's brand is defined and where our local accomplishments are really going to be made.
Now, one of the things that I know I've always talked about was a bottom-up approach versus a top-down approach.
Yeah.
Democrats have traditionally done a top-down approach. This seems to be a newer approach for you guys, right?
Yeah.
And you guys have had some success already with it. Tell us a little about some of the successes you've had already.
Yeah, so party organizations can do a lot to, you know, create a party that we are proud of, and I think that what we've done in Orange County has contributed a lot to that. So we've created a membership committee that's responsibility is to recruit district leaders. Your party is led at the very hyper-local level by a bunch of local activists. You can choose to be with it or you can choose to be without it. I like to say you can be a winner or you can be a whiner. And if you're a winner, right, you are a part of the team that belongs to the party that can challenge the Republican status quo. And in local communities like this one, where we might win at the state Senate level or the congressional level, you know, we need to be winning at the local level as well for you to really feel the impact of our work. And what we've done is we've recruited a historic number of new Democratic committee members in local election districts that are literally like the most hyper-local district you could possibly have in your election district. So if you're frustrated with the Democratic Party, be a part of the Democratic Party. If you think the Democratic Party is not ambitious enough or progressive enough, you know, get with it. Be a part of the progress. And I think that's why we've been able to win important primaries. That's why we've been able to win important local ballot referendums. And that's why we're going to win important elections in November.
So it's interesting that you brought up the primaries, because on the national level, like we hear about David Hogg, who goes out and he talks about, you know, primarying and getting a new Democrats in, and you kind of did a little bit of that this year too. So and you won those races.
And we won, and that's the difference, and that's what I think is extremely important. You know, we believe that it's important for the Democratic Party to put its best foot forward. When we haven't won a county legislative majority in 50 years, clearly we're not doing something right. So this is my first county legislative cycle as the chair of the Democratic Party, and I'm a firm believer that we need to put our best foot forward. So what we've done is we've recruited working class candidates that want to, you know, end this Orange County Republican corruption tax that we're all paying, that want to create real working class centered policy change in terms of things like public transportation and housing affordability and these issues that really matter to working class residents, access to health care. You know, we are seeing so much benign neglect from the current leadership that I think has just become complacent. And it's important for the Democratic Party to position itself differently if we want to achieve a different result.
I couldn't agree more. I was just saying we interviewed LaShonda and oh my God, I'm so bad. But we were interviewing the candidates, and they're all young. They're all young.
Yeah.
The new face of the party is just so refreshing.
It should be.
You are refreshing.
Thank you.
Do you have plans of going into politics beyond
The only thing I plan to run right now is my mouth. I think that party leadership is a slept-on opportunity to make a real difference in politics. And I think elected office is extremely important on the government side, but there are a lot of people who can serve and lead in government offices. I think what we've been failing to realize is that the Democratic Party is a member-driven organization. If we work from within and make the party what we want it to be, we can be winners and not whiners. And I think there's too many people who join this conversation looking to disrupt and dismantle instead of leveraging what we have, the system we have, to win. And, you can't change the system unless you master it. And I think that's what Republicans have done far better than us over the years, is they've mastered this system. I don't claim to think that it's fair. I don't think that it is fair, but I think it's the system that we have, and we can either effectively elect people to deliver on our values and make our community stronger and safer and more acceptable for working families, or we can complain and we can leave it to the other side to govern for us.
Keep the status quo as it is.
I think one of the things that you were particularly involved in, and since we're town of Walk Hill, it recently came up, the election for the judge. Right, the idea that the town board made a business move, right? Like made a political move, and then they tried to sell it as being a business move.
It was a purely political move,
And the idea that Democrats are fighting for good governance too. I think that that's something that we need to talk about as
Absolutely.
well, right? Like, we're not just fighting to win. You're fighting to govern effectively and do the things that are believed in by the Democrats.
Yeah, this anti-democracy sentiment is not just exclusive to Donald Trump and national Republicans. We're actually seeing it at the local level as Republicans literally try to cancel local elections for political purposes. For the first time in 14 years, we have a judicial position that is essential. It was created by the New York State Legislature because of the backlog and the activity of the Walk Hill Justice Court. It's one of the busiest local courts in the state, and it was created by the state legislature to alleviate some of that burden. And Republicans just so happened to hold that seat for the last 14 years, in their incumbent. And we recruited one of the things we're doing as a Democratic Party is we're actively recruiting the most incredible, qualified working class candidates. And we recruited a great candidate this cycle in Maria Patrizio.
She really is.
Yeah, she's someone who's incredibly qualified. And the Republicans were not even able to recruit a real lawyer.
Yeah,
I don't know if people know this, but you don't even have to be a lawyer to run for a municipal judgeship in New York State. County judge, Supreme Court, that's a different story, but at the local level, you don't even have to be a lawyer. So the Republicans' failure to recruit a qualified candidate did not necessarily result in an election environment where the Democrat had an advantage. It resulted in sort of this behind-the-scenes dark room strategy, right, to basically cancel the election entirely, delete the position of town judge. There was a third town judge position that they just wanted to completely remove, and that was because they were not confident in their ability to elect another Republican. And instead of running a free and fair election, they wanted to remove the choice of voters. And I think that Democrats could have rolled over and allowed for that to happen, but instead we
stood up, man.
We gathered another round of petition signatures. We went out, we won by an overwhelming margin a ballot referendum to maintain that third local justice position
with bipartisan support.
A lot of it, yeah.
There was a lot of so a lot of people in our local communities, and I think you're tapping into that. A lot of people in our local communities just want good governance.
Yeah.
It's not about party affiliation at the end of the day. It's about people coming in there, doing the job, and being clear with their message.
Yeah, I agree.
And you guys have definitely done a lot of that this year, and you've worked very hard on that.
We're trying.
So you've been very, very effective.
People like me and Denise,
the whole reason why we started this podcast was to get the word out. We actually, that was our first topic. This is happening, folks.
Yeah.
This is happening, and you got to pay attention.
Yeah, the town of Walk Hill, and I think this is an important note to sort of sum things up on it, for me at least, is that we have a lot of communities that have the vast majority of voters as registered Democrats, But in off-cycle elections and special elections, with the exception of this recent special election, we turn out at lower rates than Republicans, and when we vote, we win. Right? When progressive people vote, whether you're a registered Democrat or registered unaffiliated or whatever you are, when you vote your values in elections that aren't midterm elections or presidential elections, you can see results that are extremely tangible, that are measurable, that you notice on a day-to-day basis, far more than you notice what's happening in Washington and Congress or executive orders the president signs. Those are important things that we can change over the course of the next 3 to 4 years, but you can see immediate change today by making sure that you're showing up in elections for town offices and county offices as well.
So this is Zach Constantine. He's the chairman of the Orange County Democratic Committee. Joined us today. Thank you very much. Oh, hold on.
If people want to get out and not just smoke, but maybe run, find out about running, how can they reach out to you? What can they do?
Yeah, so if you're in Orange County, we have one of the only public-facing candidate recruitment programs in New York State. You can visit www.ocnydemocrats.org, and there are resources for you to not only join the Orange County Democratic Committee as a local district leader, but also to run for office at the town, city, county level. Those are opportunities that we want to make extremely accessible, because we think that far too often we're running the same characters. We're sort of treating this as sort of this status quo insider program, and the candidates we're running this year, at least for the county legislature, are all folks that came from this public-facing recruitment program to find working class people that really represent their neighbors.
We're seeing it throughout the state.
Absolutely. And I think the New York State Democratic Party is really restructuring their vision about what a real coordinated campaign looks like, and that's the party that I want to be a part of. That's the party that I want to lead in Orange County. So if you're interested, you can support us in whatever way makes the most sense for you at ocnydemocrats.org.
Very good.
Thank you very much,
sir. Thank you so much,
Very
Zach.
welcome. Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Oh,